All right, welcome. Sumant and I decided to dive deeper into the kids' learning space, and we began with Pok Pok, reviewed it, learned a lot of lessons. This week, we've decided to try another app, Lingokids. I wouldn't say it's a direct competitor, but it's in the same space. I'm curious to see how they are approaching the problem differently. Really excited to try it today.
Yeah, it's definitely right up my alley in terms of gamified learning. And I feel it's going to be very different than the one we saw earlier on Pok Pok. They've been doing well. I did see that they have been growing. And you mentioned that they just raised a 120 million round as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to check them out.
So actually, just looking at some of the numbers, I did see that they are doing roughly $3 million in iOS alone, and I think some decent amount on Android as well. They do have some form of a Web 2 app in place, and we'll probably get to it when we talk about their acquisition. But yeah, I think they're doing decent amount of revenue. And one of the things that we observed earlier as well, I don't see any ads on Meta. So their acquisition is primarily organic, it seems. I think the profitability is very high, which is why not surprised that they've raised such a big round.
Yeah.
We looked at their YouTube and you can see 3.1 million subscribers. This seems to be their primary acquisition channel. They are posting multiple times a week. Every video has a link to the app in the description. You go to the website and you can actually download it from here. What's also interesting is the guilt free positioning, which we also saw with Pok Pok. So they're definitely mentioning that this is a guilt free screen time app. They're not elaborating on it, just like Pok Pok. Like Pok Pok is really delivering this messaging that this is guilt free because there aren't any emotional outbursts after using the app. This is, I would say, a more generic sort of
Yeah.
explanation for guilt free.
Yeah.
That's definitely one positioning that I'm seeing. It's become like a standard positioning in the kids learning space now. This
Yeah.
guilt
Yeah.
free thing.
I guess the problem statement is kids are spending time on the phone because it's the easiest way to calm down. Maybe the positioning here is if they're going to play whatever YouTube or TikTok, and we use the same mechanics and teach them something. I think that's what
Yeah.
they're trying to position here. It's definitely different than Pok Pok though. Pok Pok is more, we're not going to use any addictive mechanics, but we'll still calm them down.
Yeah.
Here you
Yeah.
learn, but we'll use the same mechanics that worked for other apps.
Exactly. I think what they're going for is fun versus calm. I've also seen this 3000 fun activities games on
Yeah.
their app store page as well. So I think they're really, doubling down on the fun aspect, but it's guilt-free fun because there are no ads and it's all learning-oriented content. So that's the reason why it's guilt-free. So yeah, very interesting take on the guilt-free positioning.
Yeah.
One thing I also observed on their website was this page, which is Lingo Kids for Grown-ups,
Okay.
and doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but I love that they're doing this, which is directly talking to parents. So while this channel is all about content for kids and it's already providing value through entertaining content, this channel is actually meant for parents. They released a film called The Trial, which is all about parents being on trial because of screen time.
Yeah.
I think they discuss different aspects of screen time guilt in that film. They're basically doing a lot of content directed at parents, which makes a lot of sense. Like that's what we also thought when we were discussing Pok Pok that
Yeah.
ultimate, like, speak to parents. There has to be an educational component for parents. They need to learn what this app does. So great that they're doing this. What's also interesting is when the link here takes me to a slightly different version of the website, where this is again talking about the guilt free screen time in more detail.
That's the parent and child sort of thing where the buyer is different and the user is different. Um,
Yeah.
it's interesting that they created a YouTube education platform for that. I think YouTube is definitely one channel, and I had a chance to ask Perplexity like how did they actually grow and why did they even get that 120 million. So
Yeah.
I think Perplexity came back with an answer that they're not doing ads like you said. but they're
Yeah.
focused on paid PR, right? So they're
Mm.
building trust with, let's say, Tech Radar. If you just search like Lingo, they'll say like Lingokids is this, and that's probably what the parents also read as a
Yeah.
media. So I think they're trying to build
Mm.
trust through those articles, and
Yeah.
then really spend a lot of money to ensure they show up first for any of the keywords for
Mm.
the kids learning app, English for kids, children, and stuff like that.
One thing I want to share before we actually dive into the app
Uh-huh.
is their top countries. And here in Sensor Tower, I'm seeing obviously US, not surprising, could be bringing bulk of the revenue, but
Huh?
also Mexico and China are amongst the top countries.
I see.
When I look at the web traffic, it's actually Mexico, Colombia, which are top countries for traffic. I think there is also this value proposition of content in English and English learning, which Lingokids is providing. They do have localized versions of the app. I think even their YouTube, you'll find different pages for different languages. For example, Lingokids in Spanish,
Yeah.
Portuguese.
Oh,
So, of course, a lot of Spanish speakers might be coming into the app from this page, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are also coming from the English language page. Apart from just learning for kids, there is also probably this component of kids learning a new language or English while watching all of this content.
I'm curious. Are they teaching English to the game through the app, or is it like the app is in like they're trying to teach English through the app, right? I think that's what your conclusion is.
I think there are some vocabulary lessons as well, but the app is not just a language learning app. It's got a bunch of lessons, a lot of games around problem solving,
Yeah.
numbers, etc.
Yeah.
But it would be hard to believe that if top country is Mexico, all of their traffic is coming from, the localized version of YouTube. A lot of their traffic would come from the English version, and the English version would take you to the English app.
Makes sense.
Probably something is there as well, and it could be an opportunity for them to sort of segment these users and try to figure out what exactly are they coming for, which I'm sure they've figured out.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Right. Okay, so I guess that's the acquisition bit.
Yeah.
Let's see the onboarding now.
Yeah. Let's see the onboarding.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. I think I just started out by searching the app on the App Store. So if I see Lingo Kids,
Yeah.
when I saw the ad, I'm like, I think I probably cost them some money. But I feel like the ASO is something that they've spent some time on. Do you want to also see what the App Store listing page looks like? Yeah.
Maybe just a minute on that. Number one interactive app for kids, play along with Bippy. They've got characters. I've looked at the app and I think they have a lot of characters. Maybe they pick and choose which character to show here, or maybe they show
Yeah.
all the characters when you open the page. And this is something we saw on the web page as well, like 3,000 play learning activities.
That's great.
Down,
Even though
down on
play
that
learning, play learning is trademark. Panda is, and they have put this
number.
to proof. Kids Screen Awards.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
PR on this.
Yeah.
Push prompt is upfront. Do you think this is a good decision?
Honestly, I think it always makes sense to show push when you have demonstrated why that push is needed.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the app, so I don't know why. That's asking too much from me to allow push when I don't even know what the push would be for. I think apps are getting better and better with
Yeah.
the push. So I think, yeah, putting it up there is like
Yeah.
bit aggressive.
It's a bit aggressive, right? But I can just jump a few steps and show you what the notifications are. And
Or let's,
it kind of makes sense to ask this here. Do you want me to like answer this
yeah,
question now? Do you want to do it like
yeah,
later?
let's see what it
Okay.
looks like.
First thing is, I think the app is premium, right? So you can use the
Yes.
app even if you don't pay. That means
Yeah.
engagement is how we'll get the conversion. I
Yes.
believe their freemium model is free games or some number of games per day.
Yeah.
So you can play only 3 games per day. They do send out these notifications. You don't need to pay to play, start play
Mm.
learning, start subscribing. Your kid needs a boredom cure. We got the game.
Yeah.
They're latching onto the parents' emotions.
Mm.
building.
Are you sharing those screens?
Oh, okay, no.
Maybe we can see just one of them.
So these are the notifications. You don't need to pay to play learning with Lingokids without subscribing,
Mm.
right? And this is the other one. Essentially, I feel like if it's a kids app, they're probably okay with the notifications.
Mm.
This is an app for them.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would go about it. And maybe they tested this and they saw
Yeah.
there was no point in doing it later.
I think the argument that you made around freemium makes perfect sense because there's always a trade off. Putting it
Yeah.
top of the funnel will get more users to opt in, but then it could also lead to drop offs because users don't like being asked all of this top of the funnel.
Yeah.
Uh, I think for them, it just makes more sense. The net benefit of keeping it top of the funnel is much more because you need notifications to monetize. You
Yeah.
need notifications to get users back into the app, which yeah, I think we'll get more into it. But for me, that like what you said, right?
Uh-huh.
Freemium versus hard paywall.
Mm,
That is the biggest difference.
mm,
The user experience is definitely there, but I think that the monetization model is informing so many things here. So yeah, right from notifications to other things that we'll see.
yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
like interesting fact on that, I think they switched to freemium very like after a couple of years of no growth
Mm.
or like very less growth. And I think this as soon as they switched to freemium, the growth like went up
Wow.
a lot.
Wow.
So I guess there's some like interesting learning there. And we'll see why freemium actually worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that was the intro screen. There are two options. I have an account. I'm new at Lingokids. And it became 2000 plus.
Nice.
So this actually should have been 3000.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
fine. Kids, like a lot of good PR they've done in this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The previous screen that you showed, I think them showing a little bit of the user experience as well, which
Yeah.
we found was lacking in Pok Pok. I think they are doing a good job. They're at least showing the character Bippy. At
Yeah.
least they're showing the character there and like the animation. So good
And
job there.
this is the first screen on onboarding.
Right.
And I like the fact that you can personalize. They given the option just get started or personalize.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that you just get into the experience very quickly. And you can get the value in the core experience itself very quickly. In this case, it's interactive, so I guess it makes sense.
Great use of that background image, by the way, like the settings icon on the
Oh,
signpost and the play.
yeah. That's a good
So
one.
good. You want to set things up first? You go in that other direction if you want to do that, but there's a play button so you can start playing as well. You have both pathways to go through.
Pretty
So,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. Sort of connecting back to what you observed around that car in
Yeah.
Pok Pok's on. I think how you show progress or the path to progress, you can build a little bit delight there as well by showing progress indicators in a creative way. So this is not really a progress bar, but it's like telling you
Yeah.
what the next would entail, right? So it's not just the CTA, even through your screen background design,
Yeah.
you're indicating what the next screen might be about. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. No, the more I look at it, the more I see the thought that went into this. It's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, I'm going to click personalize.
Is your
And
kid.
so I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. What do you do if it's 5.5? Then you just say 5.
Yeah.
3 is fine. I know I went backward. Yeah. 3. And the next question was, what should your kid focus on?
Wow.
And there's a
That's
lot of topics.
lovely, right, Sumant? Like the first one is English. So I think what we were discussing earlier,
Yeah.
just learning English is one of the use cases, apart from other things like math, technology, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, makes sense. I
great.
think it's a lot of things, not just English as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the paywall.
I think one thing I noticed was, of course, like this is, top of the funnel paywall. So they're offering a free trial here. You can leave this paywall and continue exploring. The cross button on the top right is salient. So, generally some apps it's not very easy to find and like they want you to convert on the screen, but I don't think that's the case here. Pretty standard stuff, offering a free trial upfront. My guess is that if they're giving a free trial top of the funnel,
Yeah.
they may not get a free trial later. When I last checked the app, it was prompting me to upgrade to Lingokids Plus. I
Mm.
wasn't seeing a free trial.
Mm.
Whereas I am seeing a free trial here. They're doing everything right, but one thing for them to explore is making this free trial a one time offer, communicating it to the
Yeah.
parents that you only get this free trial right now. After that, you'll have to pay if you want to try plus. It's only maybe a time bound kind of a thing, which I think it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it just needs clearer messaging that this
Fair.
is
Yeah,
once
no, that
or
makes sense.
once. Yeah.
And for me, though, it kind of makes sense that they put this up front, and because there's no harm, right, to put this up at this,
Yeah.
at least for them, because it's premium. But like, I still don't know the difference versus plus versus not premium.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the delta, right? So I don't even know why I'm
Yeah.
paying because I can get this for free.
Yeah.
So either they are expecting parents to be ignorant that there's a premium, which I guess until now you don't know if it's like premium, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But if then put in this messaging that kids who do 20 games a week tend to be more calmer or whatever the problem statement is, and
Yeah.
then like, yeah, first there's some comparison of premium and plus. It will
Yeah.
clearly show why you need to do it. So maybe it's too early to show all that, but yeah, I think I would have loved to understand that.
Definitely. More and more apps are moving towards or trying a multi step paywall. So it's not just like one screen, but there's actually multiple steps and screens. Even with Rana, we saw they show you a plan
Mhm.
and then you're asked to pay. So you clearly like even if they didn't show you the delta,
Yeah.
they gave you a taste of what the premium offering is about. The value props they've already talked about earlier. As a parent, I don't see the difference between what I'm getting without Plus, like
Yeah.
all of this interactive games. So they could make it more salient, like the difference between free and Plus.
Correct. So just
Yeah.
just FYI, I think they've not said anywhere that there is a premium so far. Also, another reason why it's there, because if you're ignorant, then you'll end up
Yeah.
like you might think that this is the only way to go forward. Yeah,
But
I
I think people are savvy enough now to figure out the cross button and
maybe.
remove the paywall if it's not captivating.
So yeah, I think there's view my more plans, and then they show an yearly plan, which is not like really different. And then I have a maybe later, so I can escape. But it's kind of a multi-step. So you have more plans, and then
Definitely
there's no close.
more plan.
Yeah.
I think interesting that they're offering free trial for both monthly and annual. Generally, free trial is also used to nudge users towards the annual.
Right.
Uh, so they offer free trial in the annual, but monthly is, because it's a lower commitment upfront, you don't offer free trial there. But yeah, interesting they're offering it in both places. It
Yeah.
could be a test to just offer it in annual.
Correct. So now we have to. It's actually a side. How do I rotate this?
Yeah.
I mean,
You
yeah.
is it quick time?
No, there's a.
You want to go to okay.
Oh, let me reshare.
Yeah, yeah. Because if it's quick time, then you can just rotate
Yeah.
through edit.
All right. You're right. I got it. Let me share my screen. Okay. Cool. You have
Yeah.
restart. Let's start. So this is the home screen, and we'll just spend a little bit of time observing.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of locked. You can see some of these things are locked, but
Yeah.
it's like I think this, and then there's some random topics like get ready, daily routines and stuff like that. It's not even related to maybe English.
Practical life skills, 6 units. I see multiple tabs here, and the tabs are actually, and I think this is for iPad. So the tabs
Yeah,
are also on
actually,
the
it's for iPad. Correct.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, cute. cute icons for the different tabs. Play is seems to be the main tab. Then there is like content tab, theater, then lessons, and I think the fourth one is family time. So that's more around parents and kids doing activities
Mhm.
together. For me, the first section of the play tab is is the best part about their freemium strategy, because what they've done here is basically they've locked a lot of content. If you go and play or complete the first daily pick, the other one gets unlocked.
Okay.
So I think that's a really smart thing, because that will drive so much of your freemium conversion. Essentially, you want free users to try
Yeah.
content in the app, but
Yeah.
you also want to make it very structured, and you don't want to give them all the content, because if you give them all the content, then what's the delta? If you're offering so much value for free, there's no incentive to convert. At the same time, you want to reward users who are accessing your app by giving them access to more content.
That.
So, very well designed daily picks section. Let me see if I have. Actually, I have a quick recording of this. Do you want me to share?
Do you want to go through the game, like one experience of the game?
Let's do that, and then we can come back to the daily picks
Correct. Because
section.
then I think the game will finish and we'll see the next lesson unlock and we'll
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
So this is the core experience. And people are okay, like parents only. I think I just put some random number on more paywall.
Yeah, I think you hit a wall, like you ran out of content which was available as a
I
free
didn't know
user.
it was locked. There's no lock symbol on it. Oh, this is like okay.
Mm.
Think it's forward. Yeah, I did end up playing the daily picks. Correct.
Mm. Is this a game or just a video?
So it's a game. It is interactive. So you see that it's basically if you're dirty, it teaches the kid how to be clean.
Nice.
So and you do it by cleaning the panda. Yeah, like it's a. I also had fun doing it. Like so, it's like this is how you shower. Like the sequence of steps to take a bath. I guess
Yeah.
it's probably useful. I think I had to put in a lot of water. This is interactive, by the way, so I can move the shower up and down.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So then there was you change the scene. I like how they change the scene. They also show you what is expected.
Oh, yeah.
So then you just follow that and do it essentially. And it's the same thing that I saw on the small PIP.
Yeah. Okay.
I could keep doing it. I didn't need to stop, but
Mm. Mm.
so then I finished it.
Oh,
Unlocked.
yeah.
That stopped,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. This is what happened. If you just go back, you did the health daily pick and then spelling got unlocked. And now, if you do spelling, then the next one will get unlocked, which I think is so smart. It is not how the rest of the content is structured. So, rest of the home tab, things will remain locked and you cannot access it without signing up. But here you can access just by completing a task.
Yeah.
They're basically rewarding engagement by unlocking more content, which is how they're building a habit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
100%. And I think it's also like I believe it's 10 games per day. So they
Yeah.
put a
Okay.
limit. So that's what this daily picks is. You can have 10 free games per day. So
Okay.
I think they also added this. You see the star will go up. So basically you get a gift if you do 5 of these in a row.
Yeah.
So that they're driving up the number of games played, I think as a metric
Yeah.
per user.
y-
And
Yeah.
I think that has a direct correlation in terms of conversions for premium. I think they built all these mechanics like daily refresh of free games plus the lock mechanic that you talked about. That's actually really good, like sequencing it out. And
Yeah.
then this gift, I don't know what the gift is, but some gift that you get if you do 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
5 lessons.
Yeah.
I also wanted to maybe talk about the core experience. I think if you look at the game design aspect of it,
Mm.
this small PIP, shows you what to do. It shows what the outcome
Yeah.
is. You just need to follow it. It's done in terms of onboarding or getting
Yeah.
them to do actions.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bang. This is, I mean, there are onboarding lessons here as well, right? In the core experience, like how do you onboard a user into a piece of content or an interactive game?
yeah,
Yeah, I think especially when the players are kids, you want to make it as simple as possible.
yeah,
But sometimes even grown-ups want simplicity, especially
yeah,
when going through a hyper casual game, like they want a simple experience. So that's such a nice that you can foreshadow what's going to happen and then let the player go ahead with the experience.
yeah. You're right. Like you said, I think the same principles apply for almost all humans. It doesn't have to be just kids. But if you see it,
Exactly.
it's gradually then adding more and more hooks for it to keep doing things, or like let's say, kind of get into the flow of playing games. I like how even the small animations, right? This like once this is done,
Hmm.
they're showing that this is done at the same time, and then they show
Yeah.
the counter, which is the third
Yeah.
in the sequence of animation that finishes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like showing progress in multiple ways, and it's nice. And then I think I tried to, yeah, I was just seeing if I can break the flow and go after everything else. And let me see if I did. There was a interesting one which was also free. This NASA one.
Hmm.
So I could like so essentially they built this collaboration with NASA. Even that Blippi is
Oh,
actually some cartoon that I think
yeah.
uh
Okay.
they've partnered up with. It's
Runner game
oh my god, right.
went the other way.
It's like really rotate right.
I think it's there's a rotate. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a game skinned around NASA. You collect stars. Basically, you drive the car and you collect stars. Let me see what you do with the stars. I actually don't know what these like. If I got the answers correct or wrong, I don't know what I was answering.
But I think this runner mechanic, they've got other content also. So I think they just try to package it differently. One could be around the solar system and
Yeah, yeah.
one could be around birds. Interestingly, I think they've got a separate runner game as well, which is like a different app
Oh,
altogether. I remember when I went to their app store page, I could see that, there was a list of other apps by Lingokids and one was Lingokids Runner or something like that. So I think this is a very successful type of game in
yeah, yeah.
general. So I think they've really, doubled down on this runner mechanic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it is. I guess as a kid, I would have been very happy to do anything related to NASA and stuff like that. So, and maybe even for NASA, it makes sense to engage early on and get like
Yeah.
more astronauts. I think this was interesting. And what else was good? Let's see. This didn't move forward, by the way, even though I finished that lesson. So it is, I think it's related to only like daily lessons, the progress meter.
Which one?
The progress meter that you saw, the stars,
Okay, so there's only specific type of content that
I
unlocks
think it's
a star.
the daily lessons. Yeah,
Ah,
so that's that.
that's that.
Okay, right.
Wonderful. Wonderful. One thing I'll just add to what you mentioned, there is, let me just share my screen. I ran into a paywall when I was accessing family time. I did one activity here and then I was only allowed to do one. Then it showed this next in 25 hours, 2 minutes, which I really liked. They basically showed me a timer, which tells me that, yeah, I can come back in 25 hours and access the rest of it. They're providing a path to continue accessing the content without paying for it, but it's a tedious path. So I think it's a very good balance of giving stuff for free because it's a freemium model, but at the same time, you're also demonstrating the friction very clearly. It's a very quantified way
Yeah,
of saying this is the price of being on a free plan, 25 hours. You've got to wait to access content which you really want to. If you sign up for Plus, then there's no 25 hours. I really like it. And I think this is a generalizable lesson for freemium. What are the different ways in which you can show the delta? One way to show the delta is you get 10 exercises in free and 3,000 in premium. But those things are not very tangible for the user, right? But waiting 25 hours is like, oh, okay, waiting 25 hours when I'm actually wanting to play another game
Yeah.
is a very tangible thing. So that drives home the delta really well.
That's a great example. It's a very common game mechanic used in games
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know if
Yeah.
you played like Farmville, SimCity, and any of these idle games. I played this idle game called Adventure Capitalist. It's nothing.
Mm.
Okay, it's just like you just need to tap a few buttons and make money from like
Okay.
businesses and then use that money to buy more businesses. It's a very basic game. It's made a lot of real money. The app has made a lot of money. And
I'm surprised.
they do this thing called, I think the game mechanic is called time prison or something like that. But you
Mm.
essentially, if you're going to, so in Farmville, right? You can maybe create like 5 farms, and then they tell you you have to wait 25 minutes to create the next farm.
Okay.
I think that time makes you want to have that now. So
Yeah.
what these
Yeah.
guys have used the same concepts to just bring it here. Like, look, you will get it, but you have to wait
Yeah.
some time.
Gotta
And
wait for it.
if your time is invaluable, then you can just pay to win, which is a
Exactly.
great use of this game mechanic in a non-game situation, or like in a way, it's a game as well.
It's
Uh,
a game.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is a good example. I think I've not seen one of these in a while.
And it's much easier with games because generally games do rewarded ads.
Yeah,
So you watch an ad and unlock for 10 more minutes, stuff
correct,
like that.
correct.
So sometimes translating that to a model without ads can be difficult. But it also something that the growth team needs to figure out is
Yeah,
25 hours too long. It conveys the delta really well, but it could also be too much of weight and like leads to churn.
yeah,
Um, that's just a variable for the growth team to figure out, right?
yeah, yeah.
Maybe
It's an experiment, 100%.
it's
Yeah,
so it's 2 hours daily pick. How many free exercises are there in daily picks? Maybe it's three, maybe it's five.
yeah,
Again, another variable to keep tweaking. Lots of possibilities, but the upside in this model is so higher. In a
yeah,
rewarded ad, you get money from that ad, but here you actually get someone to sign up for a premium tier, and then
yeah.
they're gonna be engaged. And if your product continues to provide value, then they're gonna renew. So
Yeah.
it's a much cleaner stream of revenue if you get this right.
Yeah,
So
and I think they're really taken a bet on freemium, right? If you can see from the experiments,
yeah,
they really figured out that funnel. I think the product itself works. That's why they're confident enough
that
to say, like, just start playing. And
yeah,
really, it does work. I think it's nice. It's unique. That's why they've doubled down on it. They're like, look, I'll make sure you'll play 3 games for sure. As a
yeah,
corporate. And then
yeah,
that's when I'll put in these mechanics and play. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, it's nice. I think the daily refresh of games is content, which also uses that 25 hours timer. Also, winning a gift if you finish 5, ensure that people finish 5 daily. And
yeah,
yeah, I think that the games itself are nice. They're pretty engaging.
yeah. One more thing I observed was there seems to be a lot of repackaging of the
Oh,
content as well, like content which might be in the theater tab or in the family time tab. That's often repackaged and shown on the home tab under different sections. So again, there are different pathways to find content. You like not all users will go and try out all the tabs. So
yeah.
they're using that whole tab layout really well. So yeah,
Oh,
which I very important for freemium. Yeah.
remember we discussed about referrals?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did open up the referrals. It looks like this.
Refer a friend on a free pass. Where did it open? Was there an icon?
So there's a section called parents section. I think it's on this side
Like in the
or something like it's right. uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Parents area.
I
And
see.
then this opens up like the
Age.
side view, but the portrait view.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see all these things. You can see
Mm,
screen time, you can see downloads, you can see subscriptions, you can see printable worksheets. Interesting. And then there's news and invite a friend.
mm,
So invite a friend,
yeah.
so you get like 24 hours free.
I think it's just like yeah.
So there's 24 hours of gameplay.
That's a lot, like I mean that's pretty good. Like the reward is pretty high. A reward for inviting a friend is pretty high.
And
Like you get
you can see,
premium.
I think if they're saying 24 hours. They could have set five free games. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
20 free games because you'll end up finishing those 20 because there's a limit. Could have.
Yes. Yeah. Again, another variable
Yeah.
for them to experiment on. Great. I think we went through a lot of stuff. So you want to just reflect on the differences you observed between Pok Pok and Lingokids and any lessons that you can draw based on that.
Okay. I feel Lingo Kids is well designed for motivation. I think you can see it when the nuances of onboarding. They thought through how to get someone from not being convinced to actually being very engaged. They've done a great job from that perspective. I think the big difference I see from Pok Pok, and this is just the learning method, it's way different.
Yeah.
That's the big difference. But apart from that, these guys have done a great job with onboarding, but
Yeah.
great job with monetization. I really like how that like they're making you reach that point where you have to pay. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. In conclusion, the learning methods, I'm not sure if it's a decision that parents are going to do like this or that, and maybe they're just going up to a different audience there. And here looks like they've really solved for end-to-end conversion of monetization, whereas in Pok Pok, they're probably a little early there. Is there anything to take back from here? I feel like Lingo Kids for sure. We have so many things to take back for our own apps,
Yeah.
relationships, but especially if you're freemium.
Absolutely.
Well,
Just to add what you said, right? Firstly, I don't think Pog and Lingo Kids are direct competitors.
right.
They are apps in the same space, but the solutions are very different. And the way they are approaching the problem of guilt free screen time, both have very different takes on it. One thing that stood out to me is that your monetization model is really key and it will inform your entire growth activation roadmap. Two apps, even if they have the same user experience on day zero, but choose different monetization model. One goes with a hard paywall, one is purely freemium, and they have growth teams. In 6 to 12 months, they're going to be very different from each other because the
Yeah.
kind of things you will experiment with in freemium would be very different from what you'll experiment with in a hard paywall setup. What really stood out to me with Lingo Kids is how well they're doing freemium. It's been a while since I saw freemium executed so well. I've been seeing so many hard paywalls everywhere, but this is really good execution of freemium,
Yeah.
trying to engage free users, get them activated, but also show a clear paywall at the right point, at the right time, also communicate the delta between a free experience and a premium tier through the user experience. So that's really well done. I think with freemium, there are some prerequisites for apps when they're thinking about premium. Of course, you need to get the user experience right. Your code loops need to be really strong. You need to get to a certain point before you can switch to
Yeah.
freemium. Probably there was an inflection for Lingo Kids as well. They probably didn't start with freemium. They
Yeah.
built all those games. Maybe they built that trust with YouTube
Mm.
and then for freemium. Definitely getting the user experience is one. The other thing is you need a solid team for freemium as well, because the number of variables that you would now be playing with will be much more with freemium as
Mm.
compared to a model. Like we saw, there are so many variables at play. How much content do you give for free? How many hours do you let the user unlock? The kind of pricing you will show, what kind of plans are you offering? The level of complexity in freemium is way more than any other model because there are so many different users. One user is coming in from the onboarding, they're directly signing up for a free trial, and then they will convert or not at the end of the free trial. But then there are other users who will sign up for the plus at different points of their journey, right? On day zero, day one. And each one of these users have to be treated differently. So it's just much
Yeah.
more complexity when it comes to freemium.
I just like that's a
Yeah.
very interesting observation. For the sake of getting more users down the funnel, you
Yeah.
also add more variables. And
Yeah.
I think the big difference I see with maybe a freemium versus let's say this is
Yeah.
in onboarding is key. In freemium,
Exactly.
you have onboarding, engagement, retention, and notifications. I think it's a very interesting observation because we've been
Mm.
spending time on onboarding a lot because of hard paywalls. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think one prerequisite, like you said, is you have to be so confident your product works. And I think that's a good
Yeah.
flex to have when you have premium and you're like, look, we're making
Yeah.
money even during premium,
Yeah.
which means
Yeah.
it actually works. And I think, like you said, the teams could be different and different focus. I remember speaking to like this company that was making 10, 15 million ARR, right, with mobile app. And it is in the health and wellness space. Clearly, a lot of hard paywalls ensuring that most of the annual subscriptions happen in the first day or so.
Yeah.
You kind of focus on that. And they really don't care if you're using the app for the next 12 months. Right? They don't
Yeah.
really care if your
Exactly.
renewal happens. The motivations are very different because I remember spending time on use cases and everybody would just go back to onboarding all the time. And in this case, I think it's refreshing to see some mechanics come into play in engagement,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
nice. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I think we should really do more freemium apps then. Like I think
Absolutely. Absolutely. The app industry is moving away from, if they move away from freemium, there's something definitely being lost because as a product growth person, freemium is the holy grail. You need to do
yeah,
freemium right, and definitely requires more prerequisites. Your retention needs to be at a certain level. The product needs to have a basic level of retention for freemium to even work. That's number one. Comes from user experience. But then number two, I think you also need a team to manage the complexity that will come with freemium because you
yeah,
can have a free because there are so many things that you can optimize, so many entry points into a paid tier, and each one of them have different contexts. So, as I said, like a day zero, day one, day two user who signs up for the premium tier, all of these are different. But then there's also the added complexity of what is the entry point on a given day. Like it could be from the daily pick section, it could be from some other, piece of content in the app. There is a lot of complexity and opportunity to optimize freemium. Once you get the basic core loop right and it's monetizing to some extent, you can really optimize it and try out so many different variables. Whereas with a hard paywall, you are stuck with running 100 different onboarding variations and you will hit a local maxima there after.
fair. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
sort of interesting. I think maybe we should explore more apps that have switched from like like hard paywalls to freemium and
yeah,
succeeded. Yeah, and even like I think it'll be interesting. We can figure that out. But this is nice. I think we got like two apps and different learning methods.
models.
One with crazy engagement, one with no engagement, but by design.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, very different use cases, both these apps. One last thing I want to say about the freemium bit is maybe we will see a natural evolution of apps. Maybe apps begin with a hard paywall and get that revenue upfront, get some signups, and work on improving the content library, building better user experiences. And then at some point, to really have a step function change in growth, they decide to try freemium. I hope more and more apps try freemium, but you definitely got to earn that. It's not going to work if you just started from day zero and don't
yeah,
have a clear plan.
it's actually a decision that I'm taking with a couple of apps I'm working with, and
Nice.
yeah, I think you're right. It's actually maybe a follow up discussion that we can have. How you decide
Yeah.
when you're building an app, which one you go
Yeah.
with, and what's the tech.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting question to think about.
All
Uh,
right. Great question. End today's episode comparing these two apps. My head is buzzing with all possibilities that these two apps have shown. I'm just excited about the space, right? So different monetization models emerging in the kids learning space. Yeah. Probably other spaces could also learn from this, right? Other fitness,
yeah,
wellness, education. That the possibility to innovate on the monetization side is also there.
yeah. Just like
Yeah.
I think you can say it's for kids, but the theme they've taken is maybe gamified learning. I see a lot of elements of game design, and it's very similar to
Yeah.
what Duolingo also took as a stance, like gamified learning. And in a way, they built a very good, well-designed engagement mechanic.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these apps that have some element of game design, I go crazy with it. And it's nice. It's they've done
Yeah.
with good job with the engagement. So maybe like that's one more common theme I'm seeing here on why this has been really good.
Yeah, and I think we've just like it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much to be done
Yeah.
with gamified learning, and that learning, Duolingo did language. Of course, they can do 10 other things as well, but yeah, there's so many different.
We
these
should just
use
do a
cases.
game. I feel like we should just do another game. Like we should check a game out. One of the
For
most
sure.
win games. These
Yeah,
guys, they're deriving learnings from them. Just go to the
exactly.
and take the
Both engagement and monetization.
yeah.
We'll find tons of learnings from a game. So yeah, let's definitely try a game out next. It goes into the list of things,
Eh,
long list of things to try out. But yeah, definitely.
awesome, man. All right.
Awesome. Great. All right.
I'll see
Bye
you.
then.
Bye bye.
Recording. Bye.